Thunder's Mouth Theatre presents Am I Old Yet? An audio fiction comedy podcast written and produced by me, Floyd Kennedy. I've been acting the goat, my mother used to say, since I was a very small child, and also writing, and nowadays I put it all into this fabulous medium of audio entertainment. Theatre of the mind, people are starting to call it, because that's what it is. Now then, where were we? Oh yes, Helen has had the brilliant idea of providing potted fruit plants to homeless people living on the street pavements near where she lives. She provides the pots with soil in them, or rather her daughter Janie does, and Demeter, the goddess of nature and the harvest, provides the plants. Sounds like a great plan, doesn't it? Okay, we shall see.
Thank you very much, Minister, for coming into the studio today. And now, back to Josie Harkins for that report on the guerrilla plantings that are popping up around homeless people in the southwest of the city. Are you there, Josie?
Yes, Dafydd. Sorry about that. We were interrupted by a council official. He seemed to think we were part of whoever's been setting up what are apparently mini mobile gardens.
How do you mean?
Well, potted plants suddenly appeared next to the homeless people living on the streets in this particular area. Now, this council official didn't want to be identified, but he did agree to be interviewed, and here's what he had to say. Thank you for agreeing to talk to Radio London. I understand these mini mobile gardens or...
You mean potted plants?
Yes, these potted plants have appeared quite suddenly. Is that right?
Yes, and it's not right. They have no right to place these things anywhere they like. It's creating an obstruction on the pavements.
It doesn't look to me as if there's an obstruction. It's just a couple of pot plants next to the homeless gentleman's blanket, not taking up any more room than if he had a dog.
That's not the point, though, is it? It's not a dog. It's like a garden.
A mini mobile garden.
I suppose so. It's like he's setting up house and making a garden for himself on the pavement. You're not supposed to grow plants on the pavement.
Is there a law against it? Is there a regulation?
I'm waiting for head office to get back to me on that. But it was the police who contacted us and asked if we knew anything about it. So, maybe there is a law. Public nuisance or something.
So, are you saying pot plants would count as a public nuisance?
Well, they might.
Aren't you in favour of plants? Are you anti-plant in the gardens and plants department?
Parks and gardens. Yes. What plants in the parks or in a proper garden? Not just anywhere on the street or on the pavement.
I see. So, what are you going to do?
I'm going to have to detain them.
You mean you're going to take them away without the owner's permission? Well, without asking the owner?
Well, there's nobody here. They have been abandoned, haven't they?
They don't look abandoned to me. They look very healthy, very well cared for. Strawberries and... what are those green ones?
Gooseberries.
Oh. And there's one pot with a tomato plant. Lots of lovely tomatoes about to ripen and what looks like lettuce or maybe rocket growing under it.
Definitely rocket.
So if you take them away, isn't that stealing?
What? No. I'm just doing my job. We have to maintain the integrity, the balance of what grows where. That's what my department does. Integrity, balance. That's it. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you very much. And that was the end of the interview, but the homeless gentleman came along at that point, and although he declined to be interviewed, he did manage to persuade Mr. Parks and Gardens to go away and check with his head office before he started removing them.
And Josie, do you get any information about where these plants are coming from?
Not at all. They seem to turn up when nobody is around, but the really strange thing is, Dafydd, they arrive as seedlings and then they seem to grow at, a much faster rate than you would expect, like overnight. So they are providing some much needed and free fresh organic food for these people who find themselves living on the street.
And I understand that this is happening all over southwest London.
Yes, it is, and possibly even further afield. My colleagues north of the river are starting to see them as well.
So, these people might be homeless, but they're going to be getting their 5 a day.
Absolutely. All the plants are either fruit or salad, and the crops are ready to harvest very quickly. It's quite extraordinary.
Well. That was Josie Harkins, our roving reporter with, I'd say we can call it a good news story. Wouldn't you say, Margaret?
I'd call it that.
And can you top it up with some good news about the weather?
Well, maybe not so much good, Dafydd, but it's not all bad. There's a warm front coming in off the Atlantic. Hi, Susie.
Hi, Gran.
Susie, did you hear on the news about the Parks and Gardens people objecting to the pot plants we've been putting around?
Oh, yes. Mum asked me to put some around up here. I'm assuming that was you and Demeter, goddess of the harvest, your new best friend, getting that all set up?
You're not wrong. Yes, and talk about unintended consequences. I wasn't expecting Parks and Gardens to get involved.
No, it's pretty appalling. Really, the attitude. But don't worry about it. We're on to it.
We? Who's we?
Oh, well, I got in touch with some mates from uni and, you know, the climate change campaigner mob. And so we're going to, well, it's all organised. We split up into groups and we're going to stand guard and beat them off if necessary.
Oh, goodness, no, don't do that. No violence, please. That's not a good idea.
Joking, Gran.
Oh.
But you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just go and have a chat with the people there, stand around and casually and make sure that nothing happens. And if it does, we'll all have cameras at the ready to photograph and video. That's what's happening.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, sounds like you've got it under control. As much as anything is ever under control these days. Okay, that's good. Good. Oh, and don't forget to drop over for coffee or come over for lunch. Uh-oh, someone at the door. Bye, darling. Talk soon. Hello. Oh, Demeter.
Good day, Helen. Is this a good time? Are you busy?
Oh, no, not at all. Thanks for coming over so quickly.
Is everything all right? Your message seemed urgent.
Oh, not really. It's just we seem to have stirred up a bit of a hornet's nest with the authorities. Apparently, the town council doesn't think there should be plants in public places unless they put them there. Seems a bit short-sighted, don't you think?
Oh, yes. But that is what happens when you get into one of these bureaucratic organizations, isn't it?
Oh, you're right there. Bureaucracy has a lot to answer for. It's a great word to say, though, isn't it? Bureaucracy.
I suppose.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, please.
How do you like it?
I have it any way at all. Whatever your machine is set up for, I would love that one.
Right. Make yourself comfortable. Won't be a moment. And you, Demeter, how are you getting on?
I'm good. Every year Persephone comes home to me. I get to bring the plants to grow and then to the harvest. It's a great joy to be able to create over and over every year. Nothing can stop me. That gives me great pleasure.
But it must be a bit of a worry with the climate change and the shift in temperatures and conditions, you know? Different plants having to adapt and grow in different places.
Oh, but that is the thing. We adapt. They adapt. The plants adapt. It is evolution. This is how it works. Some will die out, some will survive, even thrive in different places. Life goes on and death goes on. It's all good. The circle of life, isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, good point. Here you are. Let me know if you'd like more milk.
Thank you. This is perfect.
So, how far do you think we can take this pot planting thing? I've been hearing that the people who do gorilla planting? Do they dress up in gorilla suits? No, gorilla as in, how to describe it? It's like a kind of warfare, battle tactics, where they hide out in the jungle and attack without any warning.
That sounds terrifying.
Yes, but it isn't. They've just co-opted the word to describe how they find some empty, abandoned piece of ground in the city and they take it over without any warning and plant it up without asking for permission. It's great, really.
Oh, I see.
The word is that they are very keen to get hold of some of our potted plants because of the way they grow to maturity really quickly. They want to find out what the species are of these plants so that they can have some. So I'm thinking, maybe meeting up with some of them, and it would be wonderful if you were with me.
Oh, I'm not so sure. My English is not so good, and my accent might be hard for them to understand, and I'm not sure that would be a good idea. I think I would want to dissuade them, because we don't want to foster growing fast, maturing plants everywhere. We want normal growing plants. I just did this special thing for the homeless people because they don't have time to wait. They need the food now.
Yes, I see what you mean. This might be a bit of a challenge. Okay, but how about if you did let them take samples, maybe some seeds from the fast-growing ones, and then you arrange for them to not grow fast.
Oh, I see. Oh, of course, so no problem. They just discover maybe something to do with the soil or something that when they don't mature so fast. Oh, I knew, Helen, I knew you would have the right idea. I agree. We'll do that.
Okay. All right. Well, there is cake, Would you like some?
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
That was episode 4 of season 10. You heard Edward Donnelly as Dafydd, our Welsh radio news presenter, Frances Broudie Oldridge as Josie Harkins, roving reporter, and Wayne Stuart-Cole making his audio drama debut as our Parks and Gardens official. And I played Helen as usual, along with Susie and Demeter. If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, I hope you'll take a moment to tell your friends, spread the word, and maybe even drop a tip into our virtual tip cup over at buymeacoffee.com/amiold.yet. You can leave as little as £1 or $1, more if you can afford it. I'd be most grateful. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and stick around for the epilogue. More coffee, Demeter?
Oh, Helen, I almost forgot. I have a message for you. Hera, she has a plan.
Oh, should I be worried?
No, I think it is a good plan, some fun. She wants to take you to Greece if you are free to travel. I said I would mention it to you because I was coming over this way to take on the planting of the pots program.
Right. She wants to take me. I've never been to Greece. Well, that does sound exciting.
saying about this sort of why it's not fast. I think because with the Welsh they say consonants, so then it's not hard to sort of, because some accents they don't bother with consonants as much, so they Welsh people highlight consonants. I think sort of
Is
like
that
some.
right?
I don't know, just something for maybe. Maybe
yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, that works for me.
What was that? The better of the other?
Oh, I wouldn't say better, different.
Yeah, different. Yeah. No, because I when I was doing the Welsh, I was thinking maybe I should have like a North Wales, like where I was from, but not like a South one. Yeah.
No, I think that's lovely.
Have you explored much of North Wales? Do you know much of North Wales? No.
No, I haven't at all.
Yeah.
And
It's well worth a visit.
yeah. Okay, now stop recording.